Hey everybody, welcome to the Karen's Kids podcast. This is episode number 13. I'm with your boy Jay Moros here, and you know it's your favorite host, Dino.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is number 13.
Yeah, right? Lucky number 13.
Is it? Is it, though? Is it?
Where do you think that started? The unlucky 13. There's got to be some kind of biblical reason.
I don't know. There's 12 months in the year.
Okay. No, because
there's 12 apostles. There's 12 zodiac signs.
There's like buildings that don't have a 13th floor.
I have heard that. Have you ever had to work on a 13th floor?
I don't know, actually. I'm sure I have. We've been in a lot of buildings, so.
Right. I would say I've been at least 20% of the buildings downtown. Is that conservative, you think?
20%? I mean, that's actually, that seems like, how many buildings do you think there are downtown?
80, 90?
That was a quick guess. Did you ever hear a number?
No, that's off the top of my head. But I figure how many blocks could there actually be?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I imagine it's a pretty good guess. I guess it depends how it just in the city of Chicago.
You know what? Actually,
there's probably more, right?
As of like 2018, I think there was like 52 buildings went up in downtown Chicago.
Right. Yeah, I remember one time driving downtown, you could see 9 cranes. I'm like, that's 9 skyscrapers being built. So the last time I was in the Fulton Market area, Bro, they built that up like a motherfucker.
Bro, it's beautiful there too.
It's high end. Yep.
Just so many really nice restaurants out there.
For sure.
Is that the same area that Oprah had her studio in?
Nah, didn't she have in like the ABC something? I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I don't know shit about Oprah.
No, maybe it was like closer to the Greektown area. Anyways, yeah, that area is freaking beautiful, and it's party town over there.
Oh hell yeah!
Like the nightlife it's incredible. That's where all the beautiful people are.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I was like, that's where all the beautiful people congregate.
Yeah, for sure.
Congregate, actually.
So yeah, 13th floor is.
Oh, we can customize that, right? Oh, you got to turn that up. Sorry, I had the volume up.
Yeah, no, we could add anything to that thing.
Kind of cool.
It is fucking cool. So, anyways, I got a video that I wanted you to watch.
Okay. Is that what we got to bust the phone out for?
Yeah, bust the phone out.
Okay.
And play this fucking video.
Of course, I have really low battery. I have 21. Great. Okay, what I got to go on?
So you got to go on your wherever it is I sent it to you. So it's on your.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
That's the one. Do that again.
Where have all the men gone? That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, once relegated to women's studies classrooms and college campuses, the phrase toxic masculinity entered our cultural vernacular a few years ago. Now, this was around the time that the American Psychological Association jumped in to warn that males who socialize to conform to traditional masculinity ideology are often negatively affected in terms of mental and physical health. Well, the argument is that boys are conditioned to be tough and not show weakness. That's a bad thing, I guess. And then by suppressing boys' feelings, their emotions, then they're likely to be more prone to violence or aggression, more likely to end up in prison or in trouble at school. And people who work in gender studies programs, they're dead set against the old confining rules of masculinity. And you'll see this in a highly produced Hollywood conversation.
I think there's a model about being a real man in America. And I think sometimes that model is at more sort of stoic, hard, tough, etc. My friend Joe Ehrman, who used to be a professional football player, says that he remembers his father just saying to him, be a man. Man up, toughen up, don't be a girl.
This is how far we've fallen in America. Telling a boy not to be a girl, I guess, is now considered abusive. We're in an upside-down world, my friends, and I think more people now see right through the attempt that they're making to kind of wrap their attacks on traditional gender roles around an anti-bullying campaign. Well, that's absurd because real men do not bully, we know that. Real men don't beat their wives, we know that. Real men don't hurt animals or children, we know that. All decent people agree on that. And by the way, long before the phrase gender fluid popped up, good parents told their sons both to be a man and to be courageous, valiant, compassionate. Now, I heard my friend's father say, "Stop whining and be a man." Like he was complaining about something. He said it a lot, actually. It didn't hurt my buddy one bit. He's a great dad today. But today, the radical left has one goal in mind. It's to destroy the underpinnings of the nuclear family by targeting the distinct parental roles that fathers and mothers play. Ideally, come on, we all know this, it's better for children to be raised by a mother and a father who are present and involved. Now, we also all know that single moms and dads do their best, but it's much harder, God bless them all. And I say this as a single mom myself. Yet somehow, this idea of the traditional roles, it's threatening to the radicals who see the traditional family, especially traditionally minded men, as an impediment to the ultimate goal of the left of socialism and rewriting of American history. Now, remember, Black Lives Matter had the disruption of the nuclear family as one of its main goals. Now, the entertainment industry joined the anti-family, anti-masculinity crusade long ago. In television and films, male protagonists are often portrayed as kind of goofy, helpless saps or gender fluid geniuses.
From the dance class to the ballroom. Oh! No touching! The battle line has been drawn! Yes! The floor work, darling! I made a sonic! It's only been since Thanksgiving, but it feels like forever!
Newsflash for Hollywood. Women want men to be men. Obviously, they also want men to be honest and kind and sacrificial and humble as well. But as an old friend used to say, most women I know, even women who work outside the home, prefer a man who will protect, provide, and defend. And we don't want men who will elbow us out of the way to primp in the mirror, or men whose idea of a fun afternoon is getting a mani-pedi and a facial. No. Remember the man, by the way, the Obama people used in ads to push Obamacare? Well, even Morning Joe all those years ago couldn't stop laughing at him.
This guy which is funny.
Jim Van Dyke, it looks like he's out of a bad Vampire Weekend video.
Of course, all the Pajama Boy fans are totally shocked that young men are flocking to non-effeminate men like Jordan Peterson, who wrote 12 Rules for Life. And they're especially furious that millions are tuning in to listen to manly men like Joe Rogan.
Toxic masculinity, that's a hilarious expression, because you need to thank toxic masculinity for all the bridges, all the jets, all the rockets, all this toxic masculinity. If you break down all the things that men have invented, and all these toxic men have prevented like you from being murdered in war and protected the country, and all the different things that you could attribute to toxic masculinity, most of it's positive.
That's why people listen to him. Now, the fact is, the natural instinct of most men is to protect women, but that's slowly being beaten out of them by angry feminists or overly feminine men who love submissive types. This seems especially to be the case in more liberal urban areas, and the consequences are horrifying. Now, something that happened in a Manhattan subway car when a woman told a perturbed African-American man to take a chill pill. Watch.
Say the word chill pill.
Oh! Listen, yo, you wildin'. She a female. What? That's OD.
Well, that went on and on, but notice what didn't happen. Not a single man on that train intervened. A more shocking incident took place in Philly last week when a woman was raped on the L train with other passengers aboard. Not a single one did anything to help her. And earlier this week in San Francisco, it was a young woman who chased down a man who pushed an elderly Asian lady to the ground. When the woman confronted the assailant, she was stabbed 3 times. Where were the men? Frankly, the mass feminization of men should trouble women the most. The victims in all those heinous attacks were women who were overpowered by bad men. And because the cultural elites and institutions have spent years villainizing masculinity, there were no good men willing to step in to save them. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean.
So we just saw that video. And so what do you think about it?
I don't really understand how, like the whole labeling of toxic, like how, I don't even know how that started. Is it just like guys being too bro and it's like that's what's toxic, you know, or is it the demeaning of women, you know?
Well, but who's demeaning women if we're just wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be like a weird, like we talked about last time, there seems to be like a really weird push to like make everyone think they're trans and shit, and it's like, yeah, I don't know if, like we're talking about, if they're trying to demasculate men, so it just like there's just no one to fight against what's coming or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything coming, but from what I understand, the feminists in the 60s, that movement continued throughout, and they started off as a group like Antifa. It was kind of like they were militant, and from what I understand is still today that same idea is out there. And you know, it's like I feel like women and men have each have their own equal
place.
Yeah, they have their equal place on in society. You know what I mean? But the simple fact is that like men are looked down on. We don't have certain resources that women have. And if you compare men to women, we are a lot more alike than we are different, but we have some major differences, right? Like obviously we have thicker bone density. We amongst the fastest of the men, there might be a faster woman than a man, but if you take the fastest man and the fastest women, the man will win that race.
For sure.
So, and it's that whole thing. There was that swimmer who was like 400. He was ranked like in the 400s.
Hundreds, yeah.
And then as soon as he became transgender and was racing against women, he was at the top.
Yeah, I think the public is finally, they're starting to see, like, this is just ridiculous. There's no difference between men and women. I mean, there's not when it comes to human rights.
Well, yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you should be, like, yeah, we're equal in human rights, but it's like, I don't know, we're not, there's a lot of things that we're not equal at, you know, strength, all that.
So one of the things they always say is like equal pay for men and women. What do you think about that?
I mean, if they can do, I believe in equal pay, but you have to have equal output, you know?
Oh, that part's.
Huh?
Is that fair?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, so for instance, like firemen.
I thought. Wait, what was the question?
So like, okay, so for instance, let's take firemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before a fireman, or fireman, right? Well, I don't know what the correct term is today, so yeah, I'm sorry for that.
What do women call themselves that are
and it's crazy that I have to walk on eggshells to say things like that, you know, and it's because they're policing all this speech, right? And I already have a problem speaking, so anyways. But so before you were the fire person, when there was a fire, they were able to carry you out. And today the standards have been lowered for the female, and it's okay for them to drag you out from your legs down steps.
Really?
Yeah, because the female, if a female goes in there and sees somebody and she's going to save them, she's taught to pull the person down pull the person.
That doesn't
to
seem
safety.
like that would be effective. It seems like
Well,
they'd be
if
hitting
you
their
think
head.
about it-
What if the dude's passed out?
Exactly.
You know what? The chances are that they're not going to.
Smoke rises,
they're not.
though, right?
They're not going to send. There's going to be teams of people who are doing some extractions, and I doubt a fucking female will be on that unless she's like brute and she could like legit lift things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started as, there was no women really in the workforce, and then they started coming into the workforce.
That's what I was
and
going
now
to say.
they pretty much have taken over like all of the universities. It's like 80% women or something.
But isn't
Or close to it.
I heard somewhere that the stat of like the women make less than men on average is because there's a lot less women in the workforce.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We can actually look that up.
Yeah.
Men to women ratio workforce.
There you go.
The gap between men and women in the labor force.
83. They're 80. Would say 83% of the rate of men.
So there's 83% of the entire workforce is men. So now let's look at what the what it's like. So it's like how many people are in the let's say teaching industry, the ratio of teaching industry for men and women.
Among teachers, 74.3 of them are women compared to 25.7, which are men.
Okay,
that makes more sense because women are a lot more caring. They care about kids and they want to.
Yeah.
It
So one of
the
the major differences between men and women that's recorded is that men are interested in things and women are interested in people.
Well, just
would you agree to that?
I'm sure you can make arguments in both, but it's probably more of the rule of thumb. But if you go into the labor force, I bet you it's 95% men and 5% women when it comes to any labor jobs.
Oh, you mean like bricklayers?
Anything, any warehouse job. There's always females, but it's predominantly men. So it's just because that's in our nature. I think it's more like it's like hunt. Like we're hunting and they're gathering. It's right. That's like the most basic
gathering.
The women are gathering. Like, so they do like those are like the caring jobs, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So because they're more interested in people, they're more likely to become nurses.
Right.
And so like I think it's something like it's in the 70s, 80% that women dominate the medical field. Because I mean, it's a proven fact that they're more interested in people. And it's like, what are you interested in as a male?
What do you mean?
Yeah, would you say you're more interested in people or things?
I find myself more interested in people nowadays, though, than things.
Okay. Well, you're transgender.
Right? No, but I find myself, it's because, of course I like things, but I'm trying to like not buy into this whole materialism of that they're kind of forcing on us. And I do have a lot of like, I thought about this the other day because I was working in the Gold Coast.
Okay.
You know, it's all like all rich and over there.
Yeah, big money.
Big money, right? Old money. And I literally wanted to sit on the corner with a sign saying, I don't want money. I just want to learn how you made yours. You know? So it's like, I want a peep game. Anytime anyone has ever asked me like how I did something, it's like I'm more than willing to explain how I did it. I think especially like older men, if they made money, they would love to brag to you how they made their money. You know, it's like, oh, I did A, B, C, D and whatever. And it's like, I want to learn that shit. I want to learn how to make wealth. I want to learn how to keep it. I mean, I know some things, but it's always better to learn from somebody who actually has done it. I was thinking about it today. I only personally know one millionaire, and it's somebody's dad, and I don't really talk to them. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. It's like, if I want to be a millionaire, I need some fucking millionaire mentors. So if any of you want to mentor me and you're a millionaire, let a motherfucker know.
Yeah,
I'm willing to learn. I want to work. I honestly would do some kind of internship after hours to learn more.
Well, you're stretched pretty thin, bro.
I fucking know, but I'll make some room.
Oh my Okay. Well, let's figure this out.
All right.
How many hours do you need to sleep?
Minimum 6.
6 hours? That's terrible.
I know. I prefer 7.
I'm going to give you 7 hours.
Yeah, I prefer 7 to 8.
Okay, so that's 7 hours. All right. So how many hours of that do you spend at the gym?
At least an hour and a half. It's been getting shorter because I have to make room.
So
for
let's
other
just say 2 hours.
Okay.
So that's 7, 8. That's 9 hours so far. How many hours do you spend at work?
I mean, total is probably around 9 to 10 between travel there and back, right?
10. Let's say, yeah, I would say 10 hours. So we're talking, what did we say? 7 plus 2,
17.
9. So we're talking 19 hours.
Okay.
That leaves you with 5 hours to do other things.
And you still got to eat somewhere in there and dinner.
Well, you could eat on your way to work. You can eat on your way back from work.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to cook, right, you're going to spend another couple of hours cooking, sitting and eating, right? And really, yeah, you're pretty much out of time, bro.
Yeah, maybe like that's why you have to make some sacrifices, you know, like.
Oh, you got to spend time with the girlfriend. How much time do you spend with the girlfriend a day?
Man, this week's been bad. The last couple weeks have been bad. And it hasn't been that much.
You better fix that shit before you're all alone.
Yeah, but you know what? She has to know. I mean, it sucks. Of course, I'd rather hang out with her, but it's like I got shit that I got to do. You know, it's like it is what it is.
You got to go to work and you got to go to the gym.
And that's the thing. It's like,
and you gotta become a millionaire because if you want to keep her,
and yeah, yeah, it's like you have. There's not enough hours in a day. I never thought that I would ever say that, but there's just not enough hours in a day.
Yeah.
But that's why you got to figure out what you love and narrow in on that and make that your fucking thing that you'd make money off of. Because then it's like...
I feel like that's what your 20s are for. But you fuck it up and you...
Yeah, I just partied. I just partied in my 20s and just did stupid shit. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much... so I made my kids... Well, I didn't. We made our kids. And I didn't become a millionaire. But as soon as they're all out of the house, I'm pretty much financially
comfortable.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get it's whatever it. You know, it's all relative, right? I mean, what do you think is rich? You know, is $1 million rich, or is
Yeah, I will say I'm rich, but if something goes wrong, where like let's say they have to cut off my leg, I'm fucked.
Well, I heard a good definition of wealth or something. It was like. Wealth is all your bills and necessities being paid by passive income. It's like you don't have to work for it.
Right. It's money that now just automatically comes to you. That's wealth.
And yeah,
it's like building a system where money is constantly coming into you. So like for instance, I do have I have a credit card that pays me back percentage, and I'm hoping it. But it's not going to be a lot, right? At the high end, because I don't spend that much, I probably get like $200 back a year. But then that's wealth that I could just take that $200 a year and just keep investing it, putting it maybe into the S&P 500, which I've already done, which I heard was down a couple of days ago or whatever.
Yeah, I heard now. So I was listening to a few other podcasts. They're saying now is a really good time if you have some cash to start buying some stocks.
Not yet, people.
Yeah,
hold up till it all falls apart.
In August or something, it's supposed to.
Let it fall apart.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready this year,
dude. Dude, I can't believe how much Joe Biden's. Do you think that Joe Biden has? This was the plan all along to get Joe Biden into office, have him fuck up the country, and then he's gonna have health problems, and then end up going soon. And that's been the game plan since day one.
So
between all the things that we left, we took all the troops out of Afghanistan, left like $40 billion worth of shit there. We give $40 billion to Ukraine in a drop of a hat.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know, man. It almost seems like there's somebody really trying to fuck up our country from the within, and it's like working.
You know how Russia runs, right? Russia runs on like the oligarchs, right? It's the super, super rich basically run the whole country. And then Putin's possibly one of the puppets, but they all have secrets on each other. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to cooperate in order to continue their gangster government. You know what I mean? What if America runs exactly the same way? And our gangsters don't get along with their gangsters, and then this is what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I really do think it's run like that because our big business in government, I think the biggest of the businesses are in cahoots with our government, and they make sure laws are passed that favor them. And yeah, I think we're already there. I think what's funny is we don't think of ourselves as like we're the bully to the rest of the world. You know, it's like we think of ourselves as the good guy, and I think probably at some point we were, but something changed.
Well, so what I've been thinking lately is like that social credit score is really about to happen, right? Because so you think of like the systems and all the breakdown that's happening in America, because if you go back and you look at like in the 1950s where, you know, we had that husband, wife, 2 point whatever kids, 2.3, 2.4 kids or whatever. And America was at its strongest point there economically, right? There was huge growth after the war, right? They had the boom, the baby booms. And we were building homes. It was booming. That's why they were the baby boomers. And then slowly feminism started gaining strength, and then they started women started going into teaching, and then they started passing laws, and then divorce. You know, it's so unfair where a man can build his wealth and then marry a woman. And then she, by no fault of the man, she, in some cases, can cheat, right? Or really give no reason to no longer want to be with a man except for that she's bored. And she can take half of his money, right? And then so now that guy built his wealth. And some of these guys, some of them, right, 78% of men commit suicide around the world. Or, I'm sorry, out of all the suicides, 78% of them are male. But no one talks about why. You know, yes, there's mental illness, yes, but and I don't even know.
Are you trying to say it's a social pressures? You think is more of it because there's more of a.
Yeah, I think that what happened was men were busy making money, building businesses, trying to create their wealth, that they didn't pay attention to what was happening behind the scene through like these radical feminists who started infiltrating different organizations. And like, for instance, at school, like they say that women will grade a boy's paper differently from a girl's paper based on how the teacher's feeling at the time.
I don't know. Yeah, I do think that I think I heard something that like they took a poll of like all the, you know, there was a big feminist movement whenever it was, and most of those women are actually unhappy because they don't have a man in their life. It's like they try to almost be the man and say I don't need him, but then we both need each other. If you really think about it, it's like we need the loving, caring, because you know we don't typically have or show that, I should say. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that, you know, we each have our own strategy, right? But certain parts of the female strategy might not be very flattering, right? Because it's like most men, right? They call men cheaters, right? A lot of times they're like, oh, man will always cheat, right? Is that like a lot of people say that?
I don't know, but I know plenty of fucking women. I think men get caught up more, and it's more like a thing. But women do the same shit, man.
That's how I feel. I feel like just like there's bad men, there are bad women.
100%. Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of like feminine movements that are like believe all women. You know, the Me Too movement. You know what I'm saying? Like these things, it's like, wait a minute, believe all of them? But they're not. How could you say believe all of them? Are there not narcissists and liars amongst women?
For sure. I mean, there's evil ones, for sure.
There are, but also, I'm going to say that again. There are evil men too. We know that for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But also, if there are 70 plus, what did it say? 78% of teachers in schools?
74 point something.
Okay, that's a pretty high stat. And there has been teachers sleeping with their young boys.
Yeah.
But see, if you want equality, what do you think about the equality part where it's like, let's say a male sleeps with a young girl, a no-no, right? That is like you're going to jail without a doubt. And if you go to jail and they catch you, you're getting raped for sure as a male. But a woman, lots of times, even me and you have joked about it. We're like, oh man, 13-year-old boy having sex with a hot teacher. Like, yeah, you did it, bro. High five.
Because I think there's less damage, I think, done psychologically.
Is there?
I'd like to believe so.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say because did it happen to you?
No, true. But chances are it wasn't. Of course, I would say the kid's the kid is manipulated at some level, so that's where it's kind of wrong. But I doubt I'm sure it never really happened. I'm sure it has happened, but not very likely that the woman teacher forced the sex from a student. It was like more like.
But she is the responsible adult.
For sure, I'm not saying it's like right, but I don't think there's any. It's hard. It's hard because
I think you're making a. You're trying to justify a wrong,
right? I'm just trying to say like the societal.
Do you think that was taught? That you think you were taught that it's okay for them to do it, but not men?
I'm just trying to think like how I would view it. When I was we had a hot science teacher when I was in middle school, so it's right at that 12-year-old. 13-year-old age.
How old was she, would you say?
Oh, good question.
Was she in her 20s or 30s?
In her 30s for sure.
Okay, 30s. Okay.
And because actually my soccer coach, one of my soccer trainers, went to school with her back in the day. And actually she worked at Hooters too. It was funny. I seen her there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
As a kid you saw her at Hooters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was I went to school in Berwyn and I seen her at the Hooters in Lombard. And she did a double, triple take on me and just kind of like half smiled and walked. I'm sure she was embarrassed, like, fuck, this kid just, whatever. I don't think I even said anything to anyone. But, if she was trying to have sex with me, I probably would have been game. And I wouldn't have thought of it as like, fucking, I'm being used. I'd have been like, dude, I'm going to be a legend.
Yeah. But that's what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you think you were taught this?
Oh,
or do you think this is just something?
You know what? I think it's because it's probably a lot of our fantasies. If you were at the right age and you saw a hot teacher, you probably you probably had your first sexual thoughts about a teacher. If you think about it.
Yeah, I asked a friend. I was like, because she asked me, she's like, when you used to watch porn, what did you used to watch? Mm-hmm. I actually told her, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, I started off pretty kind of like just whatever was up there. And then it started kind of escalating, and then I was like, okay, wait, now I'm looking at old ladies.
I've seen some old lady porn just to like see it. It doesn't necessarily turn me on, but
that's the thing. I just felt like, okay, so I saw that. What's next? It just kept taking me to the next step.
Yeah.
And then so I was smart enough to see myself going through that travel, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not headed toward somewhere where I'd like to be.
Well, that's a good self-awareness. I think that's what happens to like really rich people, and what you hear how they have like weird sex parties, and it's
right.
like I think it's like, okay, if you're a billionaire, let's say you're a billionaire's kid, and you're going through your teenage years, you're probably getting all types of pussy,
the hottest,
right? And that probably even after, I would say after there's got to be some point where you fucked all the hot girls. Look, they're all going to be starting to be the same at some point.
Right.
And you probably start getting bored of just, fucking a hot girl. Then you get to the next level of 2 girls. Then you're like, oh, I have having threesomes. And then you work your way up to like maybe some orgies. Then you're like getting into some S&M, whatever. What is S&M?
So one of our listeners actually asked me to ask you a question.
Oh, great. Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on.
You're hyping this up. It's going to be a whack question. What's your favorite color?
But it's true. But this person asked me to ask you, would you have sex with a man?
No. Just a man? So would I do a gay thing? No.
Okay. Well, there you go. No. He said no.
Oh, come on. Was it like a gay dude who's...
No, it was a female.
Oh, why she wants to have a threesome?
I don't know.
I can't do
think
that.
of us two, you are the favorite.
Well, I mean, it's not, you're not comparing me too much, but...
You son of a bitch!
Nah, yeah, no, we were talking about threesomes before, and I think like me and I could probably be in a threesome with a dude and a chick, but I don't know, man. I gotta feel right. I gotta feel right about it, and it's gotta be a homie. It'd be better that a homie than
So
like
you would be in a threesome with a female, you and
other female.
Okay, all right, that's not bad. But not a male.
No,
okay,
I don't think so.
I think you said a male.
Nah, that would be okay. I think it's really weird. I've seen plenty of porns when two dudes are getting at a chick.
Okay,
and she's blowing both of them, and like their dicks are rubbing, and I would feel really weird. I would feel really weird about that, cause like it's like even though it's like in her mouth and it's a chick.
I know it's just skin, but
dude, two heads and like
you can't come back from that.
Nah, right? Okay, you know when they get DP'd?
What's that?
Double penned.
Oh, okay.
Did you really just ask what a DP was? But I don't know if you've ever done that with a girl. Like you have a finger in another hole. While you could. I mean, that skin is really thin between both those holes. You could feel.
Oh yeah, yes.
So when those dicks are in there, they're definitely feeling each other rub up against each other. Okay. So it's almost like
but they're in different rooms.
No, it's almost like when you're doing a DP, it's like you're rubbing dicks in a condom. The skin is so thin that it's like they're fully feeling each other when a guy's fucking going.
So all right, let me ask you this: so after you've done this double penetration on this chick, would you protect yourself from falling in love with her?
Yeah, there'd be no chance.
What if she was super hot?
It would just have to stay at that. It's just like a fun thing we did whenever.
So you would never take a person you did that with seriously?
Nah,
it would. And even all right. So let's just say it was a serious person, right? And then you did this. Would it change the whole relationship?
Nah, I'm not one of those.
You would not experiment.
No. I'm saying if I did experiment and I could leave it like, hey, I could leave that Friday night and leave it there and be like, it was whatever. If I liked it, or even if I liked it or hated it, I could separate like an experience from like the day to day. But I don't know.
But don't you think the world is so small? Small world, right? You had this chick, right? Okay. You and your buddy had this chick.
Okay.
Now, it was a wild night. Both of you guys were in her, right? Now, years pass. You don't no longer see your buddy, but you run across the girl.
Okay. And she's teaching my kids?
No. Now, you built a relationship. She gets pregnant, or you marry her.
Because you jumped somewhere. You said I would meet back up with her after. I wouldn't, like, once we lost contact, I wouldn't go out.
So it's over.
Yeah. I would think anyone that because you would have to imagine when you're doing a threesome, you're just trying to disrespect them a little bit. Like,
do you think you're disrespecting yourself a little bit?
Nah.
Why? Because
I'm choosing to do that. It's like
So is she, but does she lose any value?
nah, I don't. It depends. It's the values in the eye of the beholder. I think so. It's like
Wait, but does that logic work? Like, let's say you're a fat chick and you're like fat and gross, and so is can she say she's a 10?
Oh, I see what you're saying. To some skinny black dude, she's probably a 10. Like a fat, they love fat white chicks, skinny black dudes. It's like they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
I don't want no part of this, but I have seen a bunch of skinny brothers.
Oh, dude,
with some thick girls.
And the chicks always got the job and buying the food, and like they live with them. It's always so.
Oh, get it, bro.
It's funny as I'm for it. It's
Fuck
like
yeah.
they found themselves some big sugar mamas, some diabetes mamas.
Do you think sugar mamas
I like
exist?
That one. I made that up.
A diabetes mama.
A fat chick who takes care of you, diabetes mama.
Well, yeah.
Hey, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt idea. I'm looking for a diabetes mama. Wow. Someone who takes insulin and goes to bed after we fuck.
Oh, my insulin bitch.
Ooh. What does insulin do? Like, you have so much sugar, you need something to regulate it?
It either, so insulin's sugar, right? And your body either has enough or not enough. Insulin is sugar? I believe so.
I don't think so. I think it's the thing that breaks down sugar.
Oh, maybe.
We're not. That's much bro science going on here.
Like I said, we're a bunch of idiots. So.
Okay, so I wrote down a little podcast idea that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I just feel, and I don't know and stop me if we've already started talking about it.
Okay.
But like, I hear so many kids talking about depression, like it's really cool to say you have depression or you have an anxiety.
Interesting.
And it's like, I think, because I hear people so casually say it. There's this young chick, she was talking, I don't even know how I was talking to her, and she was like, blah, blah, and my anxiety, and I'm like, why do they think it's so cool to be depressed and anxiety? It's like, I'm not saying those things don't exist, but I think it's like some weird social credit, or I don't know if it's social credit is the word, but it's like a way for people to like, I don't know. I just think kids think it's cool to be depressed. It's like I don't. Have you sensed that at all?
The one thing that's going around major nowadays is the victim mentality, right? They're selling it to us like you should be a victim because America and masculinity have caused major damage to people. In fact, right now, the White House is launching some type of thing against cyberbullying.
Yeah, but it used to be so fun. When I was younger, man, I used to love talking shit online. Like, when I was 14, 15, when we got my school.
What type of shit would you talk? Like, oh, you're a bitch, or I'm going to kill you? What kind of stuff would you say?
Yeah, it would never be like, I'm going to do anything physical. We would, see, my high school, we all got laptops.
Oh, God, I'm glad you said laptops.
Why?
You could say lap dances.
Oh.
It's like in high school?
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, no, well, I know, because I got jealous. I was like, what?
We all got laptops, and at first they didn't know how to block shit. So we had instant message. That was an instant messenger.
Oh,
still a
no.
thing. So we'd go in these there'd be like 20, 30 people in these chat rooms, and we'd be like, fuck your, just mom shit, like just stupid.
Yeah, your mama's so fat.
Yeah, it was I see, in middle school, my friends, we all made fun of each other. So it's like I got a thick skin real early, or I learned the art of like roasting.
That's why I like you.
Yeah, it's like I learned the art of roasting and getting roasted and kind of rolling with the punches. It's like whatever. Like, in most of the time, is you start riding me, I will have the last laugh on you. It's like
Yeah.
So when it came to high school, and I was always kind of like the goofy, always talking, trying to make people laugh. And we talked about it before. I was kind of a little bit riding on the asshole line, where it's like I kind of made people laugh at other people's expense.
You rode in a circle.
Yeah,
around that asshole.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right.
And I just don't know why kids can't develop that. They can't develop that thing. It's like learn how to just take a joke. But I don't know. It depends though, because some kids could be really probably fucking nasty, right? They could like take a picture and like send it to everyone, and like everyone's fucking riding you. And that's the thing, when we would get bullied, or if you were fucking around with kids in high school or whatever in middle school, it ended after 3 o'clock. You know, now it's like kids go home and they're going back on social media, and it's like you could attack it harder. You know, you could start making memes and all that shit. So I don't know.
Do you think that it's possible that this whole bullying thing, or this everybody gets a participation trophy, developed from like too many females influencing like male sectors? Like for instance, baseball teams, right? Mm-hmm. Before it was like you know, mom was at home, right? And then dad would take the son to baseball, right? And be over there and kind of help to train, whatever. And then mom started coming along, or dad was no longer around, and then mom had to be there. And so mom was like, it's in the frame. Just a little bit. Out. All right. Yeah. So now mom's in the baseball field, and the son, right? Because dad's not around, and dad's not around to tell the son, hey, man up. If you want a trophy, you need to do better, right? So if dad's not around to spread what they call toxic masculinity, right? Mom is like, well, why isn't my son? We're paying $350 for this team, whatever, per year. He should get something. And then they're like, well, if he doesn't get anything, we're gonna come out. We're gonna take him out, and he's not gonna be part of this team. And they started doing participation trophy. Do you think that maybe like it's more like a feeling thing over like trying to push somebody to be better, like the military does? They break them down to build them up.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's fallen on I think the parents are dropping the ball here. You know, I don't have any kids, so I can't really like speak too much on it. I know you always want your kids to have like a little better and easier life than you.
Oh man.
But there's gotta be some of the fault falling on the parents for your kid being so pussy. Like a lot of the, you know, older guys.
Why did you use the word pussy?
Because, you know, I feel like if you're a person who complains, I don't know. Why did I say pussy? I mean, I think it's like because they're just.
Do you think you were taught to say that word? Because why do we see a pussy to be more? Why do we see it to be weaker? Because we never say that guy's such a little dick, right? we always say he's a fucking bitch. He's a fucking pussy. You know what I mean?
Because I think it just stems from you're being a girl. It's like you're being weak, I guess.
But not all girls are weak. But that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's something that we were taught to say?
I think most of the shit we do are learned.
No, everything is learned. But so I guess what I'm saying, it's like, you know how religion teaches you what to think?
Sure.
And then a good teacher is going to teach you how to think.
Okay.
Right? So there are certain things in your life that you learn how to think it because you watch it and it's a truth. Mm-hmm. It's not your personal truth. It's an actual fact. Right?
Okay.
Do you think that came from a fact, or did it come from something you learned, or something somebody taught you?
It's probably, you know, I guess the expression "don't be a bitch," or, you know,
again,
it is probably learned, and it's kind of like, I guess it maybe started off as some societal thing, but I think it probably stemmed from like, you know, men coming back from the war, and then like. They got no time for anyone being sissies. You know, it's like you got to be there used to be hard. I think times used to be harder, so it created harder men. You know, so like you needed to work on the farm and you needed to go out and do things and just, I don't know. And so when I guess if we see feminine traits in a man, we're quick to call him a bitch, or I don't know. I just, me personally, it's like. I'm not a complainer. It's like, of course, I mean, who doesn't complain? But like, I'm not one of these people. You'll never catch me complaining online. You know, it's like when people used to put on their Facebook like a fucking 3-paragraph essay about like something. It's like it's like you're just looking for attention, and like that's such a little bitch move. That, you know, it's
again, the bitch, right? It's a coward move. But why do we use bitch in the place of like coward or, you know, weak? You know what I'm saying? Why?
Yeah, I guess.
You know, because even girls use it. I've seen girls say "suck my dick."
Right.
I'm like, what?
I kind of I like when they say "suck my tits." You know, that's kind of
who
funny.
says that?
Girls like, "Oh, suck my tits," instead of saying balls. You know, they don't have balls, so it's kind of funnier to say "suck my tits."
What it then they would say "suck my ovaries," right?
Yeah, but
suck my egg.
That doesn't roll off the tongue is nice. Ovaries.
Well,
it's a weird ass word.
If we continue to use it over time, do you think we can teach people to use it? Suck my ovaries.
If you can get a few million followers like on like Twitter and shit and start this trend, it might work.
Yeah. So no, I wonder about that. It's like, why do we use it, and why is it like, you know, it's because I heard that if you're in prison and you call a dude a bitch, that like that's you're gonna get shanked.
Yeah, there's people in the hood too. It's like there's certain things you
cannot say that.
Yeah.
So I wonder like what, like, because even girls will use it. Like it's kind of a blanket term, because it could be like, oh, you're being an asshole, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or you're being sensitive,
or being mean,
right? It's like, oh, you're a bitch.
It's versatile. It's a versatile word. That's why we like using it.
Yeah.
I mean, the original, it's a bitch is a female dog, right?
Female
like
dog, right?
So I wonder, I wonder how we got to you're a bitch. You're being a bitch.
Yeah.
Is it just like because dogs dogs have temperaments like when they were pregnant or something? And how to make the leap from a dog to a person?
I wonder if it has to do with like sexual strategy of just the female species across all species, across all animals, across all females. But and what do you mean by female exactly? Right. Like why do we, like, you know what it is, but should we define it because now things are different?
I don't know how.
What is a female?
Right. Someone with not a penis and balls at birth. Someone with higher estrogen than testosterone. Okay. And yeah. And women have smaller taints than men. Did you know that? No. Learned that from that phthalate lady talking about the plastics in our.
I'm gonna have to measure.
Yeah, right.
Get ready, we're measuring
on camera.
No, I don't think. She's not gonna go for it.
It'd be explicit. You have to get through a lot of hair first before you can get to the taint.
No,
isn't it weird? Like
no hair.
You don't have any hair there?
No, I have hair.
Oh, you just shave it? Would you ever get a Brazilian wax? Would you ever get your balls waxed?
Fuck no.
Doesn't that seem like that would fucking hurt?
Fuck no. Like that right there is like.
I would love to see if a woman, if I threw a bunch of wax on my gooch, that's quite foresty. If they would have,
you are Greek,
right? If they had enough strength to even rip it out. Because there's just so much hair. It's like, it's hard to rip somebody's hair out. Like, I can't. It'd be hard for you to grab my hair, and I'm sure you could, like, rip it out of my skull, but it'd be fucking hard.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't
so
know
much
if
of
it could be done.
No,
I would have to grab your hair while you're falling off a building.
No, but like women in fights, they grab each other.
Oh, they do pull hair.
That's such a girl move, right?
I know what you were about to say.
It's such a bitch move. Yeah, like I guess it's so easy to do that though. I wonder why. When's the last time you got into a fight?
Like a real actual fight.
Yeah.
My last actual real fight was embarrassing. I must have been. Oh shit! No. Oh no! I came out as a boss. So, all right, I'm gonna tell this story. This is a true story, and that guy is out there. So I was on a job site, and the general on that job site was a complete jerk. And my superintendent he came out one day to the job site, and I told him, hey man, this general is a fucking jerk. He swears at me. He's constantly talking shit. And I had heard Joe Rogan say something, and what he said, I used it on the guy. Like, I came to work one day with a jiu-jitsu shirt, and he saw my shirt, and he's like, fuck you. You know jiu-jitsu? Fuck that shit. That shit's for a bunch of gay people, right? He was saying all this shit, and I was like, oh my God. He's like,
so it's not.
That's what he said.
Oh, I kind of thought that too. Jiu-jitsu is a bunch of guys wrestling and hugging on each other.
Come to the mat.
Okay.
Come to the mat.
No, I'm fucking around. I think I will take some jiu-jitsu at some point.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, we could go over to my buddy's house not too far from here, Hector.
I want to go to a real dojo. I don't want to go to somebody's
come on. He has a
basement.
real dojo, bro. He's a brown belt, right? Is he? Yeah, he's a brown belt now. Anyways, what was I saying? Now I'm like you.
Yeah,
fucking
right.
Chicken Little.
Fuck. I don't know. You were talking about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to get back to my story.
Yeah, that's
so
what
the
you were
general.
talking about. Go ahead, General.
So the general, I was trying to find out if you still remembered. So the general, yeah, he's being a fucking asshole. He said to me in front of my superintendent, he says, I will wrap your arms and feet and I will pummel your face. And I had heard Joe Rogan say this, so I repeated it to him. I said, excuse me, sir, I will wrap your hands and feet and I will fuck your face. And so my superintendent was like, holy shit, right? But anyways, so the general laughed. Like a few days later, I went to go ask him a question, and he was talking to the elevator guys. And I was standing there, and he looked at me, and he continued to talk to the elevator guys. And
so he dissed you?
He sort of dissed me, but I was still standing there, right? And then the grid guy saw me, and he kind of clowned me a little bit. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and he says, don't you see we're talking? And he was not talking about anything about the job. He's talking about fishing. He took an envelope out of his back pocket and he slapped my nose. So I took my hand and I whacked him behind the head. Oh. I mean, I fucking hit him. And so he got mad. He started chasing me. I ran into a room, and
Why'd you run?
I ran because
scared.
too close. I was too close to him. I needed space. And so I ran into a room because I knew it was on at this point. And so he's swinging at me. He's swinging at full force. And there was a laborer in the room. His nickname was Chepe. And so anyways, he's swinging at me. And so I square up and I pop him 2 in the face. Pop, pop. And as soon as I hit him, his phone falls, and he freaked out. It was like so fast. He freaked out. He dropped his phone, and he goes, you fucker, you dropped my phone. He didn't look at me. He turned around, grabbed his stuff.
Oh, he got scared.
He realized because it was so fast, and he was swinging at full force. And
nothing he hit you?
No, he didn't hit me. He was too slow. He was too predictable. Like, you know what I mean?
Like fucking Hail Marys.
It was pathetic. You know, he's like this tough guy that doesn't know how to fight.
It's just more bark than bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he was kind of small, and like I remember days before he was standing in the hallway and he was just giving me like a super dirty look, and I looked down to his feet and I was like, "What size is that?" At his feet, and then his coworker was standing next to him, and his coworker just busted out laughing because he had like really small, like feminine size feet. And I was only clowning him because he was such a jerk. You know what I mean? And so it just continued to escalate until we got to this fight, which wasn't really a fight. I basically tapped him, you know?
Yeah, that would have been fun. I think the best part was you just smacking in the back of the head.
Oh, that was the hardest hit. Yeah. Because I really wasn't.
You got pissed. You were pissed and you were reacting. You're like, you gave it to him. Fuck yeah.
I mean, he slapped me in the face. Like, you don't do that to another man.
And I'm surprised that he didn't try and threaten like union and shit.
Well, here's the deal.
That card.
He was swinging.
Yeah.
He was really swinging. And so
what were other people saying? So you said there was a taper there.
There was a
carpenter.
No, he was a laborer.
Oh, laborer, whatever.
So the laborer saw it, and the laborer was like, "Damn, you got him good." So he didn't come to work for 2 days, and for 2 days I had this fucking knot in my throat, in between my throat and my heart. I was like, "Fuck, I'm getting fired." You know?
Oh, you just weren't. Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Fuck,
that
man."
unknown.
And so
but you had a witness though. If you had a witness there.
I had three
to corroborate
potentially four.
Yeah, to corroborate your story.
But 3 of them saw me smack the back of his head.
Did they see him bop you in the nose?
Yes.
Well, then fuck it.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I know it wasn't threatening, but you could still make the argument you were fucking threatened, so you had to do something about it.
Well, I figured I was threatened because he was threatening my manhood.
Right. That's what. Okay, I think about that. I think about that a lot. There's like people who we're so modern now, and we have laws and police, and there's a lot of people who do shit because they know they can get away with it. But if there was like no rules, and this was jungle rules, like,
yeah,
there's so many times where I'm like, you motherfucker, do you know how lucky you are that I could kill you right now?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're lucky that there's these laws and stuff that prevent it. I mean, listen, I'm sure we need that because then, the biggest monsters will be fucking running the world. But like,
yeah,
it's just
Brock Lesnar.
It's like sometimes you got to know to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's because like I could still kill you, and then you know what? There's probably so many people who just got to that point and just said, fuck it, I don't care if I go to jail. This motherfucker is not going to get the best of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they quite, you like, you're putting my fucking manhood. And what do you think that even stems from? Is it the group, like you used to be in a tribe and you had to have a role and you had to defend your spot. Otherwise the tribe would throw you out. You think that's where like, that stems from that pride, that like, don't call me a bitch, like that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have it. It's like, don't ever try to fucking punk me. It's like there's more of an inside thing, but there's this guy we work with, and he may be the biggest asshole, negative piece of shit person I ever met in my life. Like, really legit. Never met anyone like this person in my life. Like, everything out of this man's mouth is something negative.
Allegedly.
No, very, very, very
allegedly.
True, right? And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I let him kind of like disrespect me, and it's like, so many times I'm like, man, why don't I let this dude talk to me like that? It was because our company was kind of getting slow with the work, and I had a steady job for like a couple months. I would have been on this job for like 6 months. So it would have carried me through all the slow season, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to swallow it.
Exactly. And I was a brand new journeyman. So I was like, man, I'm cool with just working. It was an Eddie job. It was at the McDonald's corporate offices in Fulton Market, as a matter of fact. Or Westtown, I should say. It's the same. That's the same area. And he would just talk, man. He would just disrespect me. Like, me and an apprentice would be like laughing at break, and he'd be rounding the corner. What the fuck you laughing at? Shut the fuck up. It's like, dude. It's like, but if I ever saw him again, there's not a fucking chance I'm letting him ever talk to me the way I let him. And that whole thing made me think, it's like, man, it's almost like you almost get to the point where it's like, man, fuck this job. This guy's gonna get his ass fucking beat. It just has to happen. Sometimes I really do believe that some people, I never want to kill anyone, but some people need a good ass whooping, and like, just so they can learn that lesson, you know?
You just want to bring them to the point where they feel so much fear that now they're calling out to something they don't believe, like, God, please save me.
You would just hope that it's like they need
come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, it's like they need to learn that, like, I don't know. Yeah, just some people need their ass whooped. It's like, just like kids, you know, need to be disciplined so they can be better in the long run. That's kind of like how I feel about certain people. They just need to get a good ass whooping.
Yeah.
They need to talk shit to their, you know, like, you always run into those people who just run their mouth all the time, but they're going to run into the wrong guy at that one time, and chances are they're not going to run their mouth anymore. You know, it's like,
yeah,
almost like a Ronnie Williams or Bondi. It's like those guys like to bark a lot, And if they ever got the fucking really big ass whooping at work, they wouldn't fucking be like that again. I don't think.
Well, yeah, a lot of them act this way because they have never been slapped in the face.
True.
So, so you asked the question. You were like, I've been thinking about it. Like, what is that you don't allow people to talk to you certain ways, you know? And what allows you to have people talk? We're all different in many different ways. Like, some people are more agreeable than others. You know, oh, he wants me to do this, I'm just going to do this no matter how he talks to you. Other people are like, I'm not going to allow it to happen. And I think maybe it stems from where your ancestors come from, right? Because there used to be like honor systems, honor societies. Like, for instance, if you were from the South, right, and you had your herd, let's say cows or whatever, and, you know, there's no fences. But if somebody took one of your cows, how would you get them to never take another one of your cows again? Because it's like an honor society. You would either have to set an example. What kind of example will hurt somebody really bad so it doesn't happen again? Because you can't constantly be out there protecting your flock or animals or whatever it is. But if you inflict so much pain, it's probable that it's not going to happen again, because it is better for someone to fear you than to love you. That good?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. No, I think that's where it stems from. It's like, it might be that there was some sheep herders in my family, which is terrible, because a lot of them, like, what's the excuse? No, I wasn't fucking the sheep. I was helping it over the fence.
I was pushing it with my cock. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I also think it's like, it's something you kind of learn too. It's like, you heard somebody say, you know, like, I'm not no bitch, and you kind of like respected somebody who sticks up for himself like that. So maybe that's kind of like what it is. You learn a little bit.
Well, yeah, but you also have to pick your battles, right? Because if
right.
you call the wrong bluff, and then that person, you know, that person actually calls your bluff, and you're like, I got an ace, and that person comes out and has like a, you know what I'm saying? Has another ace, but their ace is bigger than yours.
Right. Do you think that as men, when other men walk into a room, we subconsciously size them up? Like, could I or could I not defend myself against this person? Do you think that's like a... Because the reason why I asked that is I don't know who was I talking to about it, but maybe it was my girlfriend, because I was like, man, that dude was... I walked in and like 3 dudes were just staring at me. I'm like, you see that? They're like, yeah. She's like, yeah, they were sizing you up. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, don't all guys size each other up? And I was like, I don't know, do we? Like, but maybe there is like some thoughts, because you know, like, quickly who you're not gonna fuck with in a room, right? It's like there's a couple people like, oh, I wouldn't fuck, like Doug Earns standing in a corner, like, I'm not fucking with that guy.
6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, like there's I have to, it's confident as I am in myself, and I do think size isn't a telltale of anything, as you know, like, you're a small little 5'3" dude who'll take out a 6 foot dude if he knows jujitsu and he has the right technique and shit. But I was just wondering if you thought, like, have you ever thought about that, like sizing people up, or
So yeah, I'm sure it does happen. So for instance, if I need to protect something, I'm gonna size up, right? So I don't know. Let's say there's a situation where I have to go to school to talk to a teacher because he or she was being unfair to my daughter, right? I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna size up, right? If I walk in there, right, and there is no police officer, and it's just a teacher, and he's giving me a dirty look, he's gonna set the tone, right? Or if he's kind of pushing back, and I know I could take him, I'm gonna set the tone, right? It depends, like, because where are we? Are we at equal footing? You know, you're probably not gonna set the tone if there's 3 guys in front of you sizing you up. There's got to be something innate inside of us that allows us to, okay, well, I need to be a little more subdued and set back. But I mean, if one of those guys touches your girl, it's probably going to be on, even if you get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I think there's...
I'm going to give you some advice, though. If one guy touches your girl, here's what you do. You tell your girl, I'm going to need for you to go wait in the car. Go. because it's possible that 3 guys are going to beat the fuck out of you. It's possible. But you don't want her to see you get your ass beat.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a low key.
Yes.
There's a low key, like, I don't know. That'd be interesting if they lose a little respect for you, or if they just pity you.
They will lose a lot of respect for you.
But,
I'm sure
but if 3 dudes beat the shit out of you, like, you can't expect, like, there's not a lot of people who could defend themselves against more than one person.
Right. You have to be a top MMA.
I think if you get punked and you were afraid to fight, I think if you lost a fight,
you got to fight if they disrespect you in front of you.
Yeah, right.
And
if you just
it's
take
an honor
it,
thing.
yeah, if you just take it and let them talk shit to your girl, and you're like, no, let's just go. Even though that's probably the right thing to do, is just try to get away from the situation. If you think about it, like, that's probably the right way. But back to what we said, there's certain things that you can't let slide. You can't let.
You just can't.
You can't let you can't be punked like that in front of your girl. You know.
Yeah, you got to be like. I mean, okay, so let's paint the scenario. You walked into a room, there's 3 dudes, right? Mm-hmm. One of them touches your girl.
Like what? Just out of nowhere, just grabs her?
That's it, grabs her hand.
Okay, so it's come over here?
And it's like, yeah, come on, you sit by me, right? Mm. And then you're like, what the fuck? You need to really quickly approach.
First off, most chicks will probably...
They'll snap back.
Yeah, they'll snap real quick.
Here's the thing. Okay, so let's run a couple scenarios. The first one is she doesn't snap back. She just like, honey, help me. Mm-hmm. So what would you do?
Oh, for sure. I'd be like, I'd have to go some kind of route. Like, dude, you need to apologize to her right now. I'll give him like a chance before it gets crazy. But I'm pretty sure I would get face to face almost immediately. And as soon as so I took the step forward towards them, as soon as they do anything to progress their position of a fight, we're probably getting it on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if they just keep running their mouth and whatever, but chances are they won't, you know, like if it's more than one against you. And I don't know, man, what like, you see it in the movies, right? These motherfuckers, it's like the action hero always takes out like 6 dudes, but I always think to myself, like, why that can't happen? Like, there's probably
it has happened.
I know, but it's like the people who were attacking them were fucking idiots then, because I don't get how 3 guys charge you at the exact time in a triangle. You're not doing anything about that. 2 dudes can just tackle your legs and just make it easy for the other guy to start fucking stomping on you.
Yeah, but if there are 3 simps against you,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, it's like, guys, go. Like, you know,
how many? All right, how many?
Oh wait, no, we got to finish our second scenario.
Okay, go ahead.
So, and I got to say what I would do. Okay. So, in that situation, the guy grabs my girl, says, "Come sit here," and kind of punks me out. I would very calmly grab her and be like, "Excuse me, 1 second." I would be like, "Honey, I'm gonna need for you to go wait in the car.
Shit's about to get real.
You're gonna have to go." And there's 3 dudes, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say, "You cannot come back here, please. Promise me. If you come back here, it's over. I will not. I don't want you in my life." So she's gonna have to respect that. Go. When she leaves, then I'm going to get my ass kicked by 3 guys. Mm-hmm. But she has to know that I will defend her honor. Because if I don't...
But what if she's like, I'm not going nowheres?
So here's the thing. Like, this is... Like, a simp is going to allow his girl to bully him like that. Because if I tell my girl, listen, you're going to go to the... This is not a debate. You are going to the car. There's no debate. Do it now. And a simp is going to be like, no. And then later on, his story is going to be like, oh, no, she just didn't let me. I was gonna. You know, she's going to know innately in her system that you fucked up. Yeah. And now she might not be attracted to you anymore. It's only a matter of time. The other scenario is,
is there any scenario where you call the police? Or are you more like I'm dealing with this?
In a weapon, if there's a weapon, like someone brings, because then it's completely unfair.
Right.
Then it's already unfair. There's 3 guys, but if a weapon comes out, you're like really, like I cannot beat a gun. Right? There's chances I'm not gonna survive this one.
Yeah.
Right? You still might not survive if it's 3 guys against you. You know, but
how many 10-year-olds do you think you could take on? If there was like a whole school of 10-year-olds all ready to try to fuck you up, how many can you take out legit?
Holy fuck. There are some pretty big 10-year-olds, but I'm going to say that for a good 3 minutes, I'm going to fuck some shit up.
Just straight up like just throwing them at each other,
Just
like picking one up. Just
oh my God. So part of me wants to try it.
Right? It's like, I wish there was a simulation you could just do.
Holy shit. It's just like,
I guess it would be a tired thing, right? It's like,
yeah.
If they just kept coming at you like,
yeah, like fucking,
like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they're not going to stop.
Right.
Because they are going to wear you out at some point. A whole school of 10-year-olds. Holy fuck. There's going to be biting. They're going to be grabbing at your junk.
Yeah, a lot
screaming.
Like what made me think about that is the scene in Step Brothers when the kids at the end. I think it might be like during the credits. You know when they were walking home and they walk in front of the park and then the kid was like, "I'm gonna make you eat this white shit," and they punch him. And at the end they go back to that park and they fight him. And that I always thought about that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Man, Step Brothers, what a movie.
Oh, so good.
What a fucking movie.
That's definitely top 5 comedies, hands down.
It's really good. I mean, there's so many like really good comedies, right? And it's like food because it depends what you're into.
Name another one,
right?
and I'll go.
Oh my God! I mean, I always refer to like Nacho Libre, but there's so many.
Nacho Libre, Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Then we got Superbad.
Superbad's another one.
40-Year-Old Virgin is so funny. I don't know.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I've never seen it.
Oh my God! It got so much funnier, like the last time I seen it, because I don't know if maybe I just didn't get some of the jokes, or maybe just I missed it. It's so funny.
I know he refers to like tits feeling like sand packets.
Yeah, bags of sand. He's like, you know when you're feeling they feel like bags of sand. And the guy's like, well, hold up.
Bags of sand.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
And the lady's like, have you ever heard the term fuck buddy? It's fucking stupid. There's so many.
I gotta watch it.
All right, totally. Do you want to finish anything else on that?
So somebody today told me Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Okay.
That it was like a super funny film. I mean, I saw it. I don't know, probably like 15, 20 years ago. But I don't remember it being all that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It seems like that was a little creepy. I used to be able to do like an impression of him, but I can't even do it right now. But
yeah.
He super creepy. He didn't he get in trouble for jerking off in a theater? Like that was a big thing about him.
Yeah. I mean, was it a big deal? It was a theater. It's dark. How did they catch him, by the way?
Was it one of those porn theater ones, or was he like doing it to like a regular movie?
You know what? I think this is where all that fucking shit started, when people started snitching on TV. That may have been the first.
Yeah, right. The first cancellation.
Like, come on. Even Pee-wee's got a dick, and he's got to fucking stroke it sometimes.
Amen. All right, different subject. Something I thought about. I don't know if we've discussed this or not, but I saw this guy was walking. I don't know what trade he was in, but he had a new tattoo on his arm, and he had an alien tattoo. He had the archetype like gray alien, where it was like the typical image where it was like the big head,
one of the grays,
black eyes, grays. If aliens aren't real, and if that isn't a real type of alien, how the fuck did we come up with that image? Meaning, if an alien could look like anything, why did it look like that? Why did we choose that image? It could have looked like the Predator, right? Or it could have looked like an octopus with legs. Like, how did we choose that image if it wasn't
So,
something we already seen.
A few years ago, I did hear Joe Rogan's theory on this, and it's a really good one. Have you heard it?
Yeah, I have. And I kind of agree with that, although I don't think the things that we see are, I think they're drones. I think they're not.
So it's some type of robot.
Right. I think if you were intelligent enough to get here from a different galaxy, chances are you have robots and things that, I mean, we have little rovers that can drive, that look like little tanks that are fucking taking pictures on Mars. We don't have to go to Mars, but we can send those things. You would have to imagine a civilization that's way more advanced than us can send drones that you could probably operate with like an Oculus or something,
Yeah. So let me say this. So when I was in San Diego, I was eating oysters.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this gooey slug on that half shell sitting on ice. And I thought to myself, like, that thing is a living, breathing, eating, thinking being, right? But it's behind this hard shell, right? This oyster, right? I was thinking that shit looks like brain matter. And I was thinking, like, what if we got this all fucking wrong? And our brain, right, is a snail. And just like a snail has those two little eyes that come out, those are our eyes. And this whole body is the snail's shell.
That's a fucking stretch, but I see your logic. I see.
I mean, think about it. You pull out, because the brain, they said the eyes are connected to the brain. It's all one piece. So just think about it. It's like a fucking, we might be slugs, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, that, whatever that is, grows the shell. And so do we somehow.
No, don't they find those shells? Don't they go? Oh, no, the oysters.
Yeah, oysters. These.
I guess the slugs do grow shells, right?
Some of them. Yeah. Some of them don't. They're shellless. But
the whole ocean is a fucking alien. Like, we're to fish, we got to be the aliens. We fucking snatch them out of the fucking lakes and rivers and oceans. We poke them up. Sometimes we look at them. We put them under light. We fucking measure them.
Right.
And then you throw them back out there. And it's like,
right,
all the people who are abducted by aliens or claim they are, it's like, that's the same, it's really the same concept.
Yeah, it's just on a larger scale, right?
Right.
Because, like, so just like, because that's what the thing I say, like, if it can be done on a small scale, it can be done on a larger scale. Like, if you could see it on a certain size, you can stretch that out. So, like, for instance, like, like you said, we live in this plane, in this dimension. But underneath the waves, underneath the water, underneath that cap that really breaks the surface of the water, that's a whole nother universe. It's a whole nother existence.
And it's a majority of our planet.
Yeah. What does it say? Over 70%?
Yeah, right. And I think we only have like 20% of it like mapped out or something crazy like that.
That's crazy.
It's some kind. Yeah, it's like I've heard the stat that we know more about space than we do our oceans.
That can't be right. Space is infinite.
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not putting my name on it, but how long do you think we've been at this?
We've been at it 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Boom.
Yeah, so we need to put an end cap on this because, but anyways, yeah. So let's just wrap this up here. So, yeah. So if we are from a different dimension and we put our hooks into the water and we pull out a fish from a whole completely different plane, how is that different from something somewhere above us in a different plane entering this plane?
What if, but okay.
Infinitely.
No, I agree. And I bet you there is light beings and there's other dimensions, but they're so advanced that they're not dumb and they wouldn't pluck us out of it like we do fish.
Yeah, so it's like us walking past an anthill.
Right.
You know? Yeah, some Some people would fucking put gasoline and burn them, but how many of them are there out in the woods that we never even come across?
Right. I was gonna say I heard that like China found some ancient forests that were like in these sinkholes, like they were ancient, and they found all types of like new species of shit. So I think there's probably still lots of mysteries on this earth that are left.
Oh my God!
Unsolved.
But we discover a new animal every fucking year.
Yeah, but I wonder how many animals get extinct every year that we'll never see again.
Right, especially bugs, right? Because they say like
okay, on bugs, where the fuck do they go during the winter? Do they all bury underground?
So here's what's really cool. There are the spiders. They will, if once they get hit with snow, they somehow like shut off. And then snow hits that. When snow hits them, they just turn into like a shriveled nothing. They slow down their heart rate, barely breathe.
This is real?
Yeah. And then a few months later, when
they basically
it thaws
freeze
out,
and they just thaw out.
They thaw out and come back to life. How crazy is that?
How haven't we as scientists like figured out what that gene is in that spider and then put it into people?
Maybe we have.
We definitely have, man.
Maybe we have.
I think for sure there is. All right, think about if you were like a billionaire.
Yeah.
And you can just fund your own research. So you could you put $100 million a year towards anything.
Yeah.
There's gotta be, I guarantee, you know what? And Rogan talks about this a lot, and it is weird that like our government's starting to try to admit that there is UFOs, and it's like, why are they doing that? They got some technology that they want to start releasing, and they want to make it seem like it's alien shit, or it's like, oh, we don't know what this is. We don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. I think we've engineered some shit. I think our military's got all types of crazy technologies that they're just sitting on, or they got stuff that they don't know how it works. Like they retrieved it from maybe crash sites or something.
What else? Like, so if the government, let's just say that it's true that the government does not know what it is, right? What else could it be? What do you think it might be?
I do think that some of the shit we've seen in the sky is I think they're drones too from other planets. I don't think there's ever actual life on them, because I mean, we can't assume that they breathe oxygen, or they, it's like I guess life. I guess there's certain things that create life, and maybe oxygen's one of those things that is necessary for the building blocks of life, but
not really, because
because there's species that live in like lava and like bacteria that can withstand all that shit. So I guess it could breathe on sulfur or whatever.
Yeah, so we're carbon based. There could be silicone based. There could be ammonia based. There can be like all the different whatever we have in our periodic table of elements. Whatever's on there. Like there could be like a mix of them too. That species somewhere out there in the world, where like they're like, let's say they breathe in ammonia, and they come to this planet and oxygen is toxic to them.
Did you hear that they had they found sharks that could live in sulfur water?
Wow.
They found these they discovered these ancient volcanoes under water, and they found these hammerhead sharks and I don't know if it was two type of shark. Anyways, it was a shark for sure. I don't know if it was a stingray or another shark that were living in the waters, that they adapted to the sulfur.
But they are like stingrays like us, like the ones we know of.
Right. Yeah.
But they just have like a different processing.
Right. Exactly.
Wow. So the system processes the sulfur in a different way. Like they've
adapted and they can go to regular salt water.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I listened to the Barstool. I was like a segment on the Barstool, and the guy was talking about like that's like some government project. They were like trying to fuck with certain animals, and then it got out. So they're like, oh, we discovered this thing. Instead of saying we made this shark this way.
Did you ever read the book The Island of Dr. Moreau?
No.
Where this doctor starts creating what are essentially called chimera, which is like half species of animals mixed with human beings.
Yeah, I'm sure we have that shit, man.
Do you think that it's something that we started as of recent, or maybe they did it like in the 40s?
I think like we said, like I think there's a lot of black market or black budget things that they try to just see if it's possible. Can we? I think they were trying to make people. I think they were trying to mix people in chimps because they were trying to make like super soldiers.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure there's like things out there that have like a human body but an animal head.
Well, I think I remember seeing an article where in the 40s, we'll have to look this up. In the 40s, they took a head off a monkey and put it on another monkey. And it may have been a chimp. And the chimp reanimated and actually bit the doctor. But then the chimp died of a heart attack. Do you think that's real?
I don't dismiss anything quickly anymore. Because I think, I don't know.
Because essentially you're disconnecting and reconnecting.
I mean, we could do that with body parts. I mean, we do that with human
fingers, arms.
We do that with other people's hearts. I mean,
yeah. So the transgender, one of the surgeries is they remove like skin from the forearm and they create the penis from.
Really?
Yeah. Or not skin. It's the muscle and skin. And then they create a penis.
Yeah. Right. I wonder if like they grow. Where do they even grow that? Like on your thigh, on your leg, on your arm?
I do know of one case where a soldier. Well, I think we talked about it like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Where a soldier lost his penis while he was in Afghanistan or one of the wars that we recently had. It could have been, Desert Storm. I don't know.
And I know
they grew it on his forearm.
I wonder if he had to hide it. You know, you got to like put a sleeve on so like nobody sees that you got a dick growing on your arm. And then I'm sure I asked you, and I'm sure I asked you like, do you get to ask for? Do they ask you how big you want it?
Yeah, he specifically in the article it said he wanted a 6-inch.
Did he want a 6-inch?
He wanted a 6-inch.
Dude, you got to go with 8. You got to go with 8 right off the top.
Why? Why 8? What's the difference? You think 2 inches makes a difference?
For sure.
I think with some girls, right?
I think a lot of women would say 2 inches makes a difference. But I would say 8. I'd rather have 8. I know there's some girls be like, oh, that's too big. Well, I'd rather have the extra and not use it than to you wanting it and I don't have it. You know, it's like I don't have to stick the whole thing in.
You know how your girl has to draw on your penis with lipstick so you don't go past that line?
Never has that happened. I can't get past like
Stop it.
I can't get past like the pubic area. Most of the time it's like, are you in? And I'm like, I'm done.
That's my belly button, babe.
I'm fucking done.
So,
all right, folks, we appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the 30 of you. And you know what's interesting? I was thinking about that. There's like 30 or 40 people that watch this.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be some randoms that we don't know on there, right? Or is it all just friends, you think?
Yeah. So I was going to say somebody messaged me and asked me if I'm doing any promotions they would like to promote for us. And I was like, promote. Put us out there.
Oh, no, but they probably want some money or something.
Well, I mean, look, we don't have money for the show.
No.
Right? We're trying to do this grassroots style.
You see it. You see how low budget this shit is, but
do you see this? We don't have a level.
Yeah, they didn't notice that until you just said that.
Well, no, it's level. It's just there's a slope to the floor. So.
No, but yeah, we appreciate you guys. Just hit the like, subscribe. You know, if you have any subjects or something you want us to ask,
send us to your friends, man.
Yeah, I know these shows kind of are boring and shit, but
I don't think they're boring at all.
I know Yeah, I'm just fucking around.
Who else is gonna talk about dicks and fucking aliens?
I'm looking forward to I'm gonna try to start getting some guests in here, and so we can have a little bit more a different perspective instead of just me and this guys, because we have a similar mindset, which is good and bad. It's hard for debate if we both have the same mindset, you know. Because I'd prefer to I don't know what happened, but
yeah, no, it's done recording. It's still recording voice, but it's not recording video.
All right, well, everybody, thank you. Have a good one.